Hey guys, this is Ottoman Gaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I want to show you something really fun that I've seen my brothers from another mother scratch already make a video on it, but I still wanted to show this because I want to spread the word, you know. I want to show the fact that there is an epic in this game that is amazing for the Mekkatorque fight, okay? So for this fight specifically, doesn't matter if you're under 50% or you're over the 50% mark where, you know, the boss gets harder, he starts putting attack penalty and stuns and whatnot, this epic is still going to be amazing, okay? And the epic that I'm talking about is actually one of the epics that I hate, you know. I don't like him because he's one of those ones that does not have a consistent kit, okay? So what he brings in his kit are some valuable debuffs. It's just the problem. The problem is the consistency of his kit, okay? So I do have strong heroes around him, and I do have some powerful, you know, so I do have some artifacts like Witch's Remains. This one was like, you know, I'm going to show the builds actually at the end, but, you know, it does have some pretty good artifacts. But the whole idea about Pargu is what he brings. Like you can see, I don't even have him scrolled, I'm just using him as is. The reason why he's so good is because of his ultimate, okay? So he deals 300% cold damage 3 times to target, nothing too special. You can get more damage with this one, but whatever, with a 75% chance to inflict the target with 3 debuffs randomly selected from the following: attack penalty 2, recharge speed penalty, healing prohibition, accuracy penalty, and buff prohibition. So he basically brings you 5 unique debuffs for this fight that can help you a ton because of the boss's passive. Let me see if I can quickly find the boss's passive. Okay, yeah, this is the passive. So for each debuff the hero is inflicted with, gains 1 stack of misstep for an unlimited duration. Misstep increases damage taken by 10%. So basically what Pargu brings you to this fight is 5 debuffs, therefore 50% increased damage on the boss, okay? That's just mind-blowing. That's 50% more damage that all of your team will do after he finishes placing all of these debuffs, okay? So it might take you like a minute and a half, depending on the RNG, for him to have placed all 5 of them, because you don't need to have them all 5 at the same time. You only need to place that unique debuff once, and the boss is straight up gonna have that. And what I also did is I paired that with the Crown of the Unclean. This is basically going to be the 6th debuff, okay? So that means the boss will take 60% extra damage. And I obviously, the reason I'm using this, and I'm also using the Witch's Remains, which I already have on my Drits, is because of the fact that, like I said, that Crown of the Unclean counts as a different debuff, okay? It's a 30% defense penalty, as it says over here, okay? So defense penalty 1, which is a 30% one, but it counts as a different debuff compared to the 60% defense penalty, which is the defense penalty 2. So that means that Pargu himself with the crown will bring you 60% damage, you know, damage increase for your whole team by landing all of his debuffs on the boss. Pair that with the Witch's Remains, the 7th debuff, and the Frost that we have for this team, that's 8 debuffs. So basically the boss will take 80% more damage. So I'm just gonna run this fight a little bit. I'm gonna show you how it is. Like honestly, the presets don't really matter only for him, because I'm trying to min-max this, I'm trying to maximize this. You have to manual it, okay? Unfortunately, because of the way that the AI works and how they target stuff, apart from, like I said, this guy does my Frost Enable of Vojash that does like the right square, I have to manual everybody else because otherwise they don't use their kit properly. So let me show you exactly how this one works, and you know, I'm gonna show you the builds at the end. So first thing that's gonna happen is I'm just gonna wait for Vojash to use that. Then I'm using Drits. You can see if I let Drits go auto, he's gonna do this. You always want to hit these balls, whatever you call them. I think they're magic projectiles or something like that. You want to manual it because you want to hit all 6. And then after that, I do the same thing with Trollgar because otherwise he does that. I want to manual and do the same thing over here, and I'm just gonna maximize my damage. Then he's gonna start doing his stuff, okay? So Pargu will slowly start doing his stuff, and after you're gonna see, maybe after like a minute or 2, this one's gonna get to 8 stacks, okay? It's gonna take a bit. Like for example, he's not gonna land the defense penalty from the Crown of the Unclean if we already have the Witch's Remains landed from Drits. You see Frost goes, then Drits goes and lands the Witch's Remains, and then I go with Trollgar and I do the big smash over there in damage. You can see we are at 5 right now. There's 3 more to go. This one might take a bit. So for example, what I could do is I could wait at the beginning. Like if he's always gonna do his ultimate right after everybody else, I could just stop Pargu and make him use his skills a little bit later. Let's do that, okay? Just to make sure that the defense penalty debuff lands, so it gives us that damage increase, okay? That's really important. I'm also letting, as you can see, Vojesh go first to land the frost, so that Dritz is gonna do more damage as well with his ultimate. And then, you know, this is the reality. Unfortunately, because the AI is not the best, they're not gonna do it perfect. Okay, the other defense penalty went down. I can land it. We're at 7 debuffs. Okay, we're at the 7 misstep. We are 1 away from being full stack and gaining that whole 80% damage potential. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue doing this run, and then we're gonna come back at the end. I'm gonna show you the damage, and I'm gonna show you the build. So I guess see you in a bit. Okay, so we're coming close to the end. I did have a little bit of bad RNG, it seems, with the hits, with the healing and whatnot, and I didn't quite hit that 200 million. I did yesterday 210 million with this team. I'm just gonna have to like rerun it. I'm gonna have to rerun it afterwards, but you know, it does pretty good job. And as you can see, we have those 8 stacks that I was talking about. So I'm just gonna go and redeploy, and I'm gonna show you the builds that I have on these people to see how I built my team. So first of all, Garius, he's in the Gatekeeper staff. Like this what makes him really powerful, because he does such a massive heal on his ultimate that with the Gatekeeper staff, you're gonna have some pretty consistent shields, some pretty big shields, and that's what makes it really powerful. Then I have him in an Ancestral Protection to give us some protection, and I also have him built with Resist, because once you're passing that 50% HP on the boss, you know, once you did the 50% damage, he starts stunning, and I want Garius to not be stunned. I want him to go as often as possible to do as many heals as possible, so that's why I built him with some Resist. I took away from his defense, but he still has a solid amount of defense. Then we have Vojesh. He's basically in the Cyril set, because he's going to be doing debuffs, so we're going to have that increased attack up mostly all the time. Then I also have Rift Hourglass on him. You don't really need this one. I used it because I have it. You can use the Instance Burner instead. Gives you accuracy, gives you some survivability. Don't really care about the skill haste, honestly, because we time him to use this on a 30 seconds you know, timer. So it doesn't really matter if you have this or any other artifact that gives you accuracy and survivability. Didn't really care about his damage. He's just an enabler. Then we have my Dritz the Orden. He is in the Witch's Remains. I built him in the Inventor set, even though I should change his build, but I don't think I had a good enough set in Emperor's Might. That's better, okay? Emperor's Might is better than Inventor in this fight because of the low attack that those magic projectiles have, so you do more damage. That's at least what I've tested, okay? I tested on people like Sigrid and stuff like that, and Emperor's Might did more, but it kind of worked for me with Inventor. I'm gonna have to switch it up. And yeah, I basically built him with accuracy to land this, and then I went as much damage as I could. Then after that we have Trollguard, the main DPS. He's a beast, okay? He's a beast for this fight, especially with this one, because you're gonna be removing you're gonna dispel the frost, so he's basically gonna ignore 100% of the defense, which means he's gonna do a ton of damage, okay? He's gonna do a ton of damage. As you can see, he's in the Emperor's Might. I do have the Famiander artifact from last season. This one's pretty good. It gives you attack percent, HP, and it can give you a pretty good stack of attack, 60% up. You know, every second goes up, then it goes down, it goes up, and then it goes down. So this one's a pretty good artifact. If you have a better one, obviously go with the better one. And then the last one, the Man of the Hour, the one that I talked about, that, you know, that's the whole reason why I made this video, to talk about Pargu. Well, basically, maybe I could scroll him to get him to do the ultimate more often, because right now he's on a 22 seconds. If I did scroll him, if I use the, you know, get him a little bit lower, that would help. The beta skill doesn't really matter as much, but it's all about his ultimate, like I said, and I don't really care about his damage, okay? He can do damage, but again, he's mostly an enabler. He's there to land the 5 debuffs and to survive and to keep doing, you know, you also have a chance to land the attack penalty. That can be good, so, you know, maybe you can time it before the ultimate and pray that you get a good RNG to proc the 75% chance to land the debuff, and then the chance for that debuff to be attack penalty. But the way that I chose to build him is, like I said, a Crown of the Unclean, but then I went as much HP as I could, and I gave him a Mona Lisa set to basically help out Garius with some extra heals, okay? The reason why I did lots of HP is because this one heals based off of the wearer's max HP, okay? It says 15% max HP, it doesn't say target's max HP, which means it's gonna heal based off of his HP. So, you know, he's close to 90,000 HP, so that's pretty solid, and he did a pretty good job. I'm really happy with him. I'm happy to see that, you know, a hero that's really underrated and that's basically not good. Like, I would not use him anywhere else because he's not reliable enough with any of these debuffs, but because of the way that this boss works, he's perfect because he brings a ton of debuffs on this one, kind of the same way like Ripacas. Ripacas has the same debuffs, and he's amazing as well for this boss fight. But anyway, this is gonna be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're gonna start giving some love to Pargu in your Frost team, in your Radiance teams, because you know what? He does deserve a spot in these teams, even if you don't scroll him, like I showed. You don't have to waste your scrolls. I will not scroll him. I would not waste scrolls on him, but just use him. Use him on scroll and he's gonna do a great job. But anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.